For thousands of years, horses have held a deeply special place in our human hearts. They are more than just animals. They are a fundamental part of our history, an ancient friendship built on reliability, loyalty, and a shared journey. Beyond their utility, there is that undeniable, breathtaking beauty. Nature truly outdid itself here, creating a masterpiece of sheer power, speed, and grace. Yet, despite all this majesty, there is a dark, tragic phrase we've all heard at some point. A horse breaks its leg during a race or jump, and suddenly we hear about the shot of mercy. The reason? Because its leg is broken. Have you ever really stopped to ask yourself why? Why is it that this massive, incredibly powerful creature, an animal that can carry humans into battle, finds a broken bone to be a literal death sentence? We live in an era of miracle medicine. We transplant human hearts and treat complex cancers. So why, in the world of modern veterinary science, is a shattered bone in a horse's leg still a final judgment? Welcome to Night Question. Before we dive into the why of this tragedy, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest deep dives. To understand why a broken leg is a total catastrophe, we first have to look at the incredible engineering behind their bodies. A horse is a masterpiece of biomechanics, designed for one specific purpose: moving at high speeds over vast distances. To become a specialist in speed, evolution stripped away everything unnecessary. To run that fast, you can't have excess weight in your lower limbs. Think of it like a pendulum. The lighter the bottom of the leg, the faster it can swing. This design allows a half-ton animal to sprint at speeds exceeding 40 miles per hour, with elite racehorses even touching 45. But here is the structural catch. To achieve that lightness, the bones in their lower legs are dense and brittle under extreme impact. When a horse's leg breaks, it doesn't just snap cleanly. It shatters. It fragments into dozens of tiny pieces, much like a solid ice cube being slammed onto a concrete floor. In the medical world, this is a comminuted fracture. Now, add the physics of their weight. Around 60% of a horse's total body mass is concentrated on its two front legs. If you have a horse weighing 1,100 pounds, those two front legs are carrying nearly 660 pounds of constant vertical pressure. Because evolution prioritized speed, there is no muscle tissue in the lower leg to act as a shock absorber. It's just skin, bone, and tightly wound tendons. Once that bone shatters, there is absolutely nothing left to hold the structure together. The weight of the horse turns the injury into a mechanical disaster. It's like trying to superglue a cracked support beam while a skyscraper is still resting on top of it. But the mechanical failure is just the beginning. Healing requires blood. Blood carries the oxygen and the antibiotics needed to repair tissue. In humans, our bones are wrapped in thick layers of muscle that act as a rich vascular bed feeding the bone. But look at a horse's lower leg. There is no muscle there. This puts us in a double bind. First, the natural blood supply to the area is incredibly weak. The bone fragments often lose their connection to the blood supply entirely, leading to necrosis, where the bone cells literally die before they can heal. Second, because there is no muscle padding, the sharp bone almost always pierces through the skin. The moment that bone touches the open air, bacteria rush in, leading to a nightmare called osteomyelitis. Because blood flow is so poor, even the strongest IV antibiotics can't reach the site in high enough concentrations. The bone begins to rot. If you try to use metal plates, they get contaminated and the whole repair collapses. It's a vicious, endless cycle. At this point, you might think, why not just lay the horse down? Put it on bed rest? Unfortunately, no. Horses are biologically incapable of lying down for long periods. They are designed to stand, even while they sleep. If an 1,100-pound horse lies on its side for more than a few hours, its own massive weight begins to crush the muscles and nerves. This leads to compartment syndrome. Blood flow stops, the muscles die, and the horse wakes up paralyzed. And it gets worse. A horse's digestive system needs constant physical movement to function. If a horse remains stationary or lying down, its intestines can stall or twist. This leads to colic, which isn't just a stomach ache, it's often fatal. Gas builds up, the intestines can rupture, and the horse dies in agony. Even their lungs fail. The weight of their body can cause them to collapse. Essentially, if a horse lies down to save its leg, it dies from organ failure or paralysis. But let's say the horse stays standing. It will naturally shift all its weight to the healthy leg. But horses aren't built to be triped. This leads to the most dreaded word, laminitis. Inside a horse's hoof, there are delicate tissues called laminae. They hold the bone to the hoof wall. These tissues need constant blood circulation. When a horse stands still, bearing all its weight on one good leg, those blood vessels are crushed. The tissues die. The sharp coffin bone inside the hoof actually rotates and begins to sink, eventually piercing through the bottom of the foot. The pain is so intense, it is considered inhumane to let it continue. Even if we survive that, we have to face the recovery room. Horses are prey animals. Their brains are hardwired for fight or flight. When a horse wakes up from heavy anesthesia, it doesn't realize it's being helped. It wakes up in a state of blind, thrashing panic. Imagine a half-ton animal, disoriented, trying to gallop away while its leg is in a cast. They smash into walls, and in seconds, they snap the very titanium plates the surgeon just installed. Is it just about the money? Look at Barbaro. He was a legend, worth millions. His owners used the best surgeons on earth and 27 screws to fix his leg. The surgery worked, but then laminitis destroyed his healthy feet. The pain became so great they had to let him go. Barbaro's story is a reminder that biology has limits, that money cannot buy its way past. In the racing industry, insurance often seals a horse's fate. If a horse can't race, it's a total loss. If the owner can't afford the massive recovery, the dollar, unfortunately, speaks louder than mercy. We've bred these animals to be glass cannons fast, but tragically fragile. In the end, the decision to euthanize isn't about laziness. It's the final bitter mercy to prevent a magnificent animal from dying slowly of bone rot. It's the hardest call an owner will ever make. And that's our story for today. Who made it all the way to the end? If you're still here, you are the real ones. Drop a like before you head out so I know how many of you stuck around. And don't forget to leave your suggestions in the comments. Peace.